marching in protest and solidarity. Palestinians in Ramallah protest the violent Israeli attack on the Gaza flotilla, which has left scores killed and injured. The Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas declared a 3-day state of mourning and condemned the Israeli attack as a criminal act of piracy.
There is no doubt Israel had premeditated this vicious aggression as it willfully planned to carry out this heinous act to deter the world and people from supporting the Palestinian people. This is why Israel carried out this vicious massacre against these innocents.
It's a position that has been echoed unanimously across the occupied Palestinian territory. Arab reaction has been equally stern.
The crime perpetrated this morning against the civilians supporting the Palestinians remind us of the unjust siege, the open bleeding wound in the Strip, and all those who preach freedom, justice and democracy are required now to move and act to break this siege so the bloods of those free men do not go down the drains.
Jordan said this was a heinous crime, and hundreds rallied in Amman in protest to demand information about the 25 Jordanian nationals on board the flotilla. In Cairo, where people too have taken to the street in protest, the government condemned the violent interception of the flotilla. The Arab League will hold an emergency meeting on Tuesday to discuss a collective Arab response. There's been anger too in Tehran, where the government has called the Israeli attack inhuman. The sentiments of anger and condemnation are unanimous in the region and within the divided Palestinian society. But it remains unclear how these sentiments of solidarity can translate into action or change Gaza's miserable reality under siege. Nooradi Al Jazeera, Ramallah.
Well, the UN Chief Ban Ki-moon has said he's shocked by the reports of killings and injuries, and he's calling for a full investigation. Several countries have called for urgent meetings with their Israeli ambassadors, while protesters have marched to express their feelings. Well, Nadeem Barber now reports.
Their anger is clear. Up to 3,000 protesters outside the Israeli embassy in London calling on the government to close it down. The demonstrators held a minute's silence for those killed. At a smaller protest in Brussels, one demonstrator was particularly concerned.
My sister and my little sister were on the ship. We don't have any information. My government cannot give me any information because the Israelis have decided to give no names of wounded people or the dead people or the people that have been taken to jail.
Germany is generally seen as a strong ally of Israel, but its government has expressed shock at the deaths.
We want an extensive and transparent investigation. It's clear that the basic principle of proportionality is international law. A violation of this principle is not acceptable.
Several European governments have summoned the Israeli ambassador, while the European Union is calling for an immediate Israeli inquiry into what happened.
I have also taken the opportunity to point out, having visited Gaza, the importance of opening the crossings for humanitarian aid to go through to ensure that ordinary people have a better existence than that which I saw.
In the Islamic world, there have been numerous protests. In Pakistan, the government was quick to react.
Pakistan strongly condemns this incident. Our point of view is that there was no moral or legal reason for this attack.
In France, as protesters converged on the Israeli embassy, President Nicolas Sarkozy condemned what he called Israel's disproportionate use of force, and there were also strong words from Italy.
I deplore in the strongest terms the killing of civilians. This is certainly a grave act.
Meanwhile, as the details of the Israeli action emerge, the street protests continue. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera.